So hi everyone. So today we'll be performing an experiment called as measurement of frequency and wavelength of a microwave source. So to perform this experiment, we will be in need of a klystron power supply, klystron tube with mount, isolator. This is the slotted section with a probe carriage. This is the frequency meter, and at last we need a detector mount which is connected to the CRO to see the output. Fine. So we have to start the klystron power supply. So we have a procedure to be followed to start the klystron power supply. Before turning on the power supply, make sure the beam voltage knob is at the minimum and the Rippler voltage knob is at the maximum. So after these initial conditions, turn on the power supply. So you see a switch over here, the switch over here which says HT, so it is in off version. Turn it on to on. So you will be seeing the beam voltage, that is 193. Slightly increase the beam voltage to 215 or 216 using this knob. So I will be keeping it at 216. So after this, switch this meter select to current and see the current should be less than 20 milliamps. So the current is rising now. Yeah. So we have a current of 12 milliamperes, so which is less than 20 milliamps. So after this, check the Rippler, turn this knob and check the Rippler which is at maximum, that is 274 minus 274 volts. So you will be seeing a stable square wave on the CRO. Fine. So there are two methods to be performed here to calculate the frequency of the microwave source. First one is direct method and second one is indirect method. So the direct method consists of this frequency meter. We will be using this frequency meter in the direct method, and we will be using this slotted section with the probe carriage to find out the frequency of the klystron power supply, which is called as indirect method. So in direct method, rotate this frequency meter in anti-clockwise and see the dip on the CRO. Fine. Let's rotate this frequency meter in anti-clockwise and see a dip on the CRO. Yeah. So we found a dip, so which is at 9.15 gigahertz. So note this frequency down, and we got the frequency of the klystron power supply using the direct method, that is 9.15 gigahertz. So we have to get approximately 9.15 gigahertz using the indirect method also as well. Fine. So to perform the indirect method, we will be using this instrument, that is slotted section with a probe carriage. So we have to take, so this is the MSR, that is main scale reading. This is the vernier scale, so VSR vernier scale reading, and our least count will be 0.01. So we have a formula, that is MSR plus VSR into LC. Fine. So we can move this. So this probe carriage can be moved from left to right or right to left. So what we'll be doing is we will be moving from load to source. So this is the load, this is the source. We can move from load to source. Otherwise, we can move from source to load as well. In this case, we'll be moving from load to source in the left direction. So what we have to do is we have to take the MSR and VSR scale readings when we get two maximas or two minimums. In this case, I'll be taking the values of MSR and VSR to particular maximas. So rotate to the left and see that your square wave starts increasing, and stop it when it starts decreasing. So this will be my first maxima. As you can see that it starts decreasing. So this will be my first maxima. So the reading is MSR reading is 8.9 on the MSR scale, and the LC and the VSR count is 1. So we have a formula, that is D1 is MSR plus VSR into LC, right? So my MSR will be 8.9 and my VSR will be 1. So after this, we have to take another reading, that is D2. Again rotate it towards the left side and take the value at the next maximum. So the wave is shrinking now. It goes to its minimum position. Again it starts rising. When it starts decreasing, that's your second maxima. Yeah. So it starts decreasing now. So note down the values. So my MSR shows that it's 11.3 and my VSR is exactly at 8. So my second MSR is 11.3 and my second VSR is 8. So we have a formula again, that is D2 is equal to MSR plus VSR into LC. So after placing the 11.3 in and 8 in the formula, we will be getting 11.38. So my first D1 was 8.9 and 1. So it will be 8.91, and my second D2, my second value, that is D2 is 11.38. So we have a formula that is small d is equal to D1 minus D2. Sorry, D1 minus D2 or D2 minus D1. So after that we will be getting small d, and hence placing all the values of d and frequency what we have got in respective formulas, we will be getting the value from indirect method, that is which is nearly equal to 9 gigahertz, 9.15 gigahertz. Thank you.